The government says, we'll put taxes on you and take all your rights. Kind of like Obama had one of his people on Fox News this morning, one of his spokesmen saying, just like at 9/11, we didn't like it happening, but we used it to get freedom in America and to protect the people from terrorists. Take all your freedom, giving you your freedom, the Patriot Act, the New Freedom Initiative. It's always has an Orwellian name. And so they're not letting a good crisis go to waste. Let's go to Chad in Ohio. Chad, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Outstanding. Hey, Alex, back in 2009 of May, I went to renew my license here in Hocking County in Ohio. They told me my license had been suspended by the state of North Carolina. So I had to call the state of North Carolina. I talked to them. I said, this is Chad. The reason why I was calling is, my license was suspended, and I want to know why. Well, they said you had a ticket of February of 2001. I said, well, I was stationed with the Marine Corps. I was in the Navy, but I was stationed with the Marines at that time. I said, that's true. I paid that ticket. She looked it up. She said, yeah, you did. I said, so what's going on? She said, well, the Department of Motor Vehicles of North Carolina gave you another traffic violation for driving 20 miles over the speed limit. And I said, I've never been told about this. I said, so what you're telling me is after 8 years and renewing my license twice in 8 years, you're just now telling me about this? And she wouldn't tell me what was going on, but I did my research, and what I found out was about the Real ID Act. And I'm even a government employee, and they're starting to, well, not starting, but they're putting those boxes in the ceilings to where when you walk in, a radio wave comes in, hits your card, and goes back. But here, ultimately, the fact of it is that the state of Ohio is now issuing a national ID card. Of course, they went to a new enhanced driver's license.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I get questions all the time about how did you get your driver's license? Because I famously got arrested refusing to thumbprint in Austin, Texas in 1997, and I had the executive order about how it was a national ID card, how they were going to use it for buying and selling, how they were going to track everything we did. They said ultimately in the executive order, they're going to take our blood at the driver's license facility. That's why they're getting you trained right now with cops. And license plate reading cameras have already given everybody tickets for speeding. And what they're now going to phase in is points on your license, and most Americans in the next year or two are going to be told you no longer have your driver's license. You have hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines with interest for all these hundreds and hundreds of times you were caught speeding. Camera at point A said that you went from point A to camera at point B at an average speed of 81 miles an hour. And so you're going to be given tickets. And again, the Pentagon put in the license plate readers 15 years ago. For at least 10 years, it's going into federal databases. Anybody who didn't have insurance, one of my employees 9 years ago didn't have insurance. He was given a ticket. He paid for it. They don't care. They suspended his license for a month. They said you got to pay all these giant fines retroactively and come in and prove you have insurance now. But the illegals are above the law. They're released. So this cashless system is already in, and they're already tracking the slaves everywhere they go. And so that's probably how you got that ticket, even though you don't remember being pulled over by a cop. Go ahead. And so now they're also saying under the Real ID, and I have my Texas driver's license. I went ahead and got one because I couldn't get on airplanes. I couldn't live. I'm inside Nazi Germany. People ask, why do I have my Nazi papers? Well, because I have to be able to move around in the resistance. If I don't have it, I'll get picked up even quicker because I'm not an illegal alien who's above the law, part of their program. And it says USA, Texas, and it's a national ID card, and it's got national ID barcode on the back, and it's just a glorified federal ID, and it tracks everything I do. And this is my slave control card. And they've now said that when your license gets suspended, you're going to be automatically fired from your job, and there's going to be tens of thousands of dollars of fines a month. See, they're not going to ever bust the illegals. You're going to have an ID card to have a job. And if you haven't paid taxes, they're not going to allow you to have a job. And you've got to voluntarily go turn yourself in on a work release program for forced labor, but it's to pay the taxes, quote. So it's not forced labor to the government. This is high-tech slavery. Everyone is going to enjoy it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, number one, yeah, you're absolutely right. Our driver's license here in the state of Ohio, pay attention to people in Ohio, do say USA driver's license, and they just started that within a year and a half. Again, I didn't know any of this until 2009. Also, in my county, they started already putting, they put license plate scanners on the back of their cop cruisers and the sheriff cruisers. I actually went in and I took a Vietnam veteran, 2 Purple Hearts, in there with me. asked him who purchased those. He told me the Department of Homeland Security. I asked him who are those for.
Yeah, but you know, bringing a veteran in with Purple Hearts, if those cops have been brainwashed, that means you're bad. It's not good to be a veteran anymore. According to their Homeland Security training, that veteran is a potential terrorist who's trying to stop them from taking all the money through the banks. But sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right, brother. Well, I'm a veteran too, and
terrorist. Terrorist.
Yeah, I wanted. Thanks. I just wanted him to know what was going on. I asked him if he ever knew about the Real ID Act, and also I showed him my old military license because they never take it back from you. They conveniently allow you to leave with it. But what's happening is now in our federal, even our federal government positions, people are getting issued new ID badges, and what they're doing is the government is setting up actual things in the ceilings to send off radio waves. It's happening here in Ohio. It's a fact. What it is, it's a tracking device. Just imagine if you were at a gun show.
No, listen. That's the whole point. Of course, there's RFID in the passports, in the driver's license, and the government is putting readers up. They were caught 12 years ago in San Francisco because they had a test there with some of their license that had it. And now everywhere they ping and they read everywhere you're going, sir. So, of course, I mean, you're a prisoner. Continue.
Well, I decided to do something about it. I'm done tired of, I never really yelled at my TV, but I was naive for many of years. Like I said, I was in the military. I've seen things that I probably shouldn't have seen and heard, but that's beside the fact. The real fact of it is American people really need to stand up for themselves and actually do something. A lot of apathy, and people just talk. And so I've decided to run for a state house representative, and I'd love to give you my website.
Yeah, go ahead and give it to us.
Yeah, it's www.ricketts, R-I-C-K-E-T-T-S, 4staterep.com. And that's I'm running under a libertarian ticket. The Republican Party in my county told me that the Democrats are doing a pretty good job. So that right there was a telltale sign that says, hey, there's serious issues in this county. Not only in just my county, but there's Illuminati set up everywhere. And it's really time for people to just wake up. We need some leadership, honestly. And I'm not going to be able to do it all myself. Of course not. Alex Jones will not be able to do it all himself. But the fact of it is we need people just to get involved, and especially in Ohio.
We do, because, again, we're individually all being isolated, and this control grid's being put in. We must recognize this grid is being put in to rob the daylights out of us and militarily suppress us so this crime can be expanded and committed. I mean, look at this article, and I've seen the court documents. We've been talking to Bruno for the last week and a half. We Are Change LA organizer faces terrorist charge for facial expressions in court. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com. The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElhaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net, or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website, www.thefallofamerica.net, or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net.
Good day, Jim Newcomer from Midas Resources, June 16, 2010. Gold opened this morning at $1235.40. A 1-ounce gold coin can be purchased for $1268.27, $634.13 for a half ounce, or $317.07 for the quarter ounce. That's $1268.27, $634.13, and $317.07.
Making the right decision is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or worse, depression? Many investors are turning to gold as a common sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold. Discussing costs, benefits, risks, the book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold.